Just one of those Thursdays.
Why is the show? This show. This is a fine show.
This is good. I'm happy. I don't know what J-Mac's problem.
Full moon.
What is J-Mac's problem?
He's
It's a full moon or something.
He's always like he has gas.
Corey says that J-Mac has gas.
All right.
All right, so let's buy it, rent, and burn it.
As you know, you guys, name a DVD, name a movie. Mark and Wade will tell you if you should buy it, rent it, or burn it. They have never seen these before. We took them from the chat room. So this kind of tests their knowledge, but we're not here to stump them. We're here to actually find out what movies they recommend. Buy, rent, or burn. The first one from Tejas74 in the chat room. The Russians Are Coming.
Oh,
the Russians are coming. The Russians are coming. The Norman Jewison film.
Yeah, I think you buy that. That is a really great comedy.
You know what? It is a good
great
film.
Kind of mid-Cold War comedy.
Yes, I say buy that. And it was funny because
Theodore Beikel.
Huh?
Theodore Beikel. Very
That's
funny
right.
in it.
And and Jewison had done that
Yeah.
around the same time as his first films.
Yes.
So it was he was sort of deciding what he wanted to do with his career.
Yeah.
Eventually he would become more kind of an activist director.
Well,
Russians Are Coming was very funny, but
Yeah.
eventually he became really out there, really like with the hurricane and these crazy...
I mean, look, during that early period, he would go on to do everything from In the Heat of the Night, which won Best Picture, and he was producer and director of that, to, Fiddler on the Roof. So
from Lady Dio.
Moving on.
Again,
We could talk
lightning
forever.
round. Buy, rent, or burn. Lady Dio from the chat room wants to know about The Lawnmower Man.
Burn.
I'm not feeling that. Burn it. Not feeling it.
It's one of those.
Relic. It's a relic.
Yeah, it's a relic.
There is the worst movie, for those of you who are new, we have Buy, Rent, or Burn, or the worst movie of the year. Movie of the year right now, which right now is The Last Airbender. Just to let you know, we can go to that.
No, I would just say burn.
No, burn. No. It's just
From Russ Lengaga in the chat room, Syndromes and a Century.
That's, you know what? Okay, first of all, say his name because I can't say it. Go, Joe. He's called Joe, but his real name is Apakachuka Apikapaka. Asplukanaka Obligabla.
Forget it. He's a Thai director. The guy who won the Palme d'Or this year at Cannes. Famous Thai director, long name. Everybody just calls him Joe.
I like Syndromes in a Century. It was, it's incomprehensible.
It is. I'd say Rent. It's really impenetrable. If you're a super duper kind of obscure crazy Asian film fan, you'll love it. You'll want to watch it over and over and over, and just it's like Altered States, in that sense. But
I would say Rent it just
to
see a completely experimental, bizarre world cinema director.
But if you're not into it in 10 minutes. Send it back because it doesn't change.
It ain't getting better.
It doesn't improve it.
All right. From chat room, Video Clerks 2 asks about happiness.
Well, sure. Well, but do you want to buy Happiness?
I would say buy because I think it's an awesome film. I think it's Todd Solondz' best film.
Sure.
But
rent
it because that movie goes into some really twisted places.
Because here's what'll happen: you'll buy it, you'll put it on your shelf. Your mom will come over and go, "Oh, Star Wars, Serpico, what's this Happiness about?" You know what? Mom is going to run screaming.
And by the way, the semi-sequel to that film.
Life During Wartime.
Life During Wartime opens tomorrow.
I believe that's what motivated the request.
Probably did, which opens with almost a very similar scene.
We have very smart viewers.
It's a very similar. It's a very similar opening scene in the restaurant. Two people, and it goes equally psycho.
Interesting.
All right.
John Lovitz.
From
amazing opening scene.
The chat room. Remember, it's a live show, 8 o'clock every Thursday. So the chat room very busy as always. Gypsy asks about Shallow Grave.
Oh, bye.
I saw
Totally bye.
I saw Shallow Grave. I'll tell you where I saw Shallow Grave. I saw Shallow Grave in Leicester Square in London before it was released in the United States. So nobody knew who Danny Boyle was. He was this guy that nobody knew.
Who Ewan McGregor was.
No. And Shallow Grave was just terrific, and soon after that it came to the States and he became Danny Boyle.
I interviewed Danny Boyle. Ewan McGregor was like, that movie made him a star. I interviewed Danny Boyle at the junket for that film. I didn't know who he was. Some guy from British television. Here comes this little leprechaun, elfin-looking guy with more energy than I've ever seen in a human being in my life. Scared the death out of me. I said, you know what, this guy is going to be hot. Little did we know.
You were wrong.
He's so talented. That movie is that is an awesome film, Shallow Grave. The first of the Bags of Money films.
And we go to the chat room again. Kratos asks about Amadeus.
Wade hates Amadeus so much. You hate that film, don't you?
Really?
I have problems with it.
Oh, I thought you loved it.
Amadeus?
Yeah, I thought you loved Amadeus.
I have huge problems with Amadeus.
That's my sister's favorite film.
I have big problems
Producer
with it.
Mike's sister's favorite film. It says it on the back of the DVD box.
I'm gonna
Producer
say,
Mike's sister's favorite film.
I'm going to say Rent It just because it's such an iconic film. It won Best Picture. It's Milos Forman and
Rent it. Move on.
But the casting and the way
Mark
the story's
says rent?
told, I have
Rent.
You're not
problems.
even saying buy.
No, I'll say rent it.
Rent.
It's, I liked it a lot more than Wade did,
All
but
right.
still.
Nightmare
Yeah.
54 asked about the Cowboys.
Interesting. I'm going to say Rent. Rent It. It's not a great Western by any means, but it has a wonderful John Williams score. Really, really great John Williams score.
Early John Williams.
Early John Williams, which makes it worth watching all by itself. Otherwise, Rent It. It's a fairly average kind of late 60s, early 70s film.
Rent it.
Do we get the rents? Or the rent's already up?
Oh, yeah, he got it right.
All right.
There's another
Mark
All right,
Mark Rydell directed it, by the way.
One more from the chat room. We
From,
got a couple
on
from the
Golden
message
Pond.
boards.
Yeah.
One from the chat room. Red Dragon 132 asks about Mulan.
That was one of my favorite Disney.
I
animated.
assume we're talking about the Disney,
The Disney one?
and not the live action. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I would say not one of my favorites. I'd say Rent It because you're probably done with Beauty and the Beast and Toy Story.
Rent
It's
It.
something new.
Rent It because Donny Osmond's singing voice rocks.
Oh boy. Wow.
I don't know. I just
Somebody's got purple socks on.
It's one of the odd things in it.
Nobody gets that unless you're from the remember Donnie Marie show from the 70s.
Yeah.
You
I
wore
mean,
purple socks every
the
show.
Singing,
That is
the
true,
singing
actually.
voice,
I'm a
the
TV
singing
nerd.
voice, and the speaking voice don't quite match. So it's fairly obvious that they're like throwing a switch every time they go to a song.
Let's go to the message boards. Stupidformovies.com. We have message boards, and we got a couple from message boards. Spar07 asks about The Orphanage.
Oh, sure. That's a
Orphanage
terrific
is
film.
a terrific film.
I would, if you like that sort of film, I would definitely say buy it.
I'll say Rent. It's not everybody's kind
And
of
what
film.
sort of film is that?
It's a creepy,
creepy-
horror. How do you explain that? Really?
It's psychological. It's like
It's about an orphanage.
Yeah, it's like psychological creepy.
It's very Guillermo
very-
del Toro-y.
It's very ghosty. It's not like gore movie. It's sort of a ghost film. It's
I like
creepy.
how when you put Y on the end of any word, it becomes like an adjective. Oh, it's very Guillermo del Toro-y.
So it's adjectivity.
It's
Yeah.
adjective.
All right, we got one more.
Rent It,
From
Rent It.
It's you know what I like about this next film Mike's about to say?
Yep.
It's very orphanagey.
This is very buy renter Bernie
Okay.
from Preposterousy.
Yes.
Series 7, The Contenders.
Oh, so buy. Oh, so buy.
We love Series
so
7.
buy. You know what? This movie
Buy
this movie was a bit of a sensation at Sundance, and then it was released. It made like $10.27 in theatrical release here because the reality television revolution had not yet happened. So this is about a game show. This is even better than The Running Man. It's about a game show where people basically have to go kill you surprise someone at the door, hand them a gun. Okay, now it's kill or be killed. You got to go kill the other people who are on the Contenders, and everyone tunes in, and the whole thing is shot as though from the game show point of view. It's brilliant because the woman is pregnant and she's blowing people away. It's so awesome.
It is
How does
awesome.
that compare to Battle Royale? Sounds similar.
You know, I would say it's an awesome double feature for the kids.
There you go. Well, all right.
Philip Nelson, write that down. Parental guidance next week.
Yeah,
Battle
I don't
Royale.
think. Yeah.
Wow.
So, all right. So there you go. That was a good one to end on.
That was a great one to end on. Series 7 is one of those forgotten films of like
So
the
that's
last
Byron or
15 years.
Burn.
Yeah.
I was trying.
Wait, let's try it. Hold on.
Okay. I
we
was
couldn't
trying
get it.
to wrap it up with a comment from Wade, and I was going to say, hang on, come back to me. I'm going to wrap it up like I was going to. Wade, that's a great way to end the segment, right? That's a terrific recommendation, don't you think? And there it was, by Richard Bird. Yes, yeah.
Oh boy.
This is what happens when your producer doesn't trust you.